Hello, family. God bless you all. We left off in the book of Jubilees, chapter 5. We will pick up there, um, continuing the reading of our family and our family's history. When the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born to them, and the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee, that they were beautiful, and they took themselves wives of all whom they chose, and they gave birth to their sons, and they were giants. Because of them, lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way. Men and cattle, and beasts, and birds, and everything that walked on the earth were all corrupted in their ways and their orders. And they began to devour each other. Lawlessness increased on the earth, and the imagination and thoughts of all men were continually, totally evil. God looked on the earth and saw it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted its orders, and all that were on the earth had committed all manner of evil before his eyes. He said that he would destroy man and all flesh on the face of the earth that he had created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of the Lord. And against the angels whom he had sent on the earth, he had boiling anger, and he gave commandment to root them out of all their dominion. And he commanded us to bind them in the depths of the earth. And look, they are bound in the middle of the earth and are kept separate. And against their sons went out a command from his mouth that they should be killed with the sword and be left under heaven. He said, My spirit shall not always abide on man, for they also are flesh, and their days shall be 120 years. He sent his sword into their presence, that each should kill his neighbor. And they began to kill each other until they all fell by the sword and were destroyed from the earth. And their fathers were witnesses of their destruction. And after this, they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their works before the Lord. He destroyed all wherever they were, and there was not one left of them whom he judged according to all their wickedness. Through his work, he made a new and righteous nature, so that they should not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his own way, always. The judgment of all is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who depart from the path that is ordained for them to walk. And if they do not walk it, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. There is nothing in heaven or on earth or in light or in darkness or in the abode of the dead or in the depth or in the place of darkness that is not judged. All their judgments are ordained and written and engraved. He will judge all. the great according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his way. He is not one who will regard the position of any person, nor is he one who will receive gifts. If he says that he will execute judgment on each. If one gave everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gifts or the person of any, nor accept anything at his hands, for he is a righteous judge. Of the children of Israel, it has been written and ordained, if they turn to him in righteousness, he will forgive all their transgressions and pardon all their sins. It is written and ordained that he will show mercy to all who turn from all their guilt once each year. And as for all those who corrupt their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no person was acceptable to God except Noah. His sons were saved in indifference to him. And these God kept from the waters of the flood on his account. For Noah's heart was righteous in all his ways. He upheld the law and did as God commanded him, and he had not departed from anything that was ordained for him. The Lord said that he would destroy everything on the earth, both men and cattle, and beasts, and birds of the air, and that which moves on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make an ark, so that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. And Noah made the ark in all respects as he commanded him. In the 27th Jubilee of years, in the 5th week, in the 5th year, on the new moon of the 1st month, he entered in the 6th year of it. In the 2nd month, on the new moon of the 2nd month, until the 16th, and he entered, and all that we brought to him into the ark, and the Lord closed it from the outside on the 17th evening. And the Lord opened 7 floodgates of heaven, and he opened the mouths of the fountains of the great deep, 7 mouths in number. And the floodgates began to pour down water from the heaven 40 days, and 40 closets, and 40 closets. And the fountains of the deep also sent up waters until the whole world was full of water. The waters increased on the earth by 15 cubits. A cubit is about 18 inches. The waters rose above all the high mountains, and the ark was lifted up from the earth, and it moved on the face of the waters, and the water covered the face of the earth 5 months, which is 150 days. And the ark went and rested on the top of Lubar, one of the mountains of Ararat. On the new moon, in the 4th month, the fountains of the great deep were closed, and the floodgates of heaven were restrained. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the mouths of the bottomless gulfs of the earth were opened, and the water began to flow down into the deep below. On the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. And on the new moon of the 1st month, the earth became visible. The waters disappeared from the earth in the 5th week, in the 7th year of it. And on the 17th day in the 2nd month, the earth was dry. On the 27th of it, he opened the ark and sent out beasts and cattle and birds and every moving thing. Chapter 6. On the new moon of the 3rd month, he went out of the ark and built an altar on that mountain. And he made atonement for the earth, and took a kid and made atonement by its blood for all the guilt of the earth. For everything that had been on it had been destroyed, except those that were in the ark with Noah, our grandfather. He placed the fat of it on the altar, and he took an ox, and a goat, and a sheep, and kids, which is young goats, and salt, and a turtle dove, and the young of a dove, and placed a burnt sacrifice on the altar, and poured on it an offering mingled with oil, and sprinkled wine, and sprinkled frankincense over everything, and caused a good and pleasing odor to arise, acceptable before the Lord. And the Lord smelled the good and pleasing odor. And he made a covenant with Noah that there should not be any more floods to destroy the earth, that all the days of the earth's seed time and harvest should never cease. Cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night should not change their order, nor cease forever. Increase and multiply on the earth, and become many, and be a blessing on it. I will inspire the fear of you and the dread of you in everything that is on earth and in the sea. Look, I have given you all beasts and all winged things, and everything that moves on the earth, and the fish in the waters, and all things for food. As the green herbs, I have given you all things to eat. But you shall not eat anything live, or with blood in it, for the life of all flesh is in the blood, or your blood of your lives will be required. At the hand of every man, at the hand of every beast will I require the blood of man. Whoever sheds man's blood by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God he made man. Increase and multiply on the earth. Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood that was in any flesh. And he made a covenant before the Lord God forever throughout all the generations of the earth in this month. Excuse me. Because of this, he spoke to you that you should make a covenant with the children of Israel with an oath. In this month, on the mountain you should sprinkle blood on them because of all the words of the covenant, which the Lord made with them forever. This testimony is written concerning you, that you should observe it continually, so that you should not eat on any day any blood of beast or birds or cattle during all the days of the earth. And the man who eats the blood of beast or of cattle or of birds during all the days of the earth, he and his offspring shall be rooted out of the land. And you will command the children of Israel to eat no blood, so that their names and their offspring may be before the Lord our God continually. There is no limit of days, for this law it is forever. They shall observe it throughout their generations, so that they may continue supplicating on your behalf with blood before the altar. Every day and at the time of morning and evening they shall seek forgiveness on your behalf perpetually before the Lord, that he may keep it and not be rooted out. And he gave to Noah and his sons a sign that there should not again be a flood on the earth. He set his bow, which is his rainbow. He set his bow in the cloud as a sign of the eternal covenant, that there should never again be a flood on the earth to destroy it for all the days of the earth. For this reason it is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets, that they should celebrate the Feast of Weeks in this month once a year, to renew the covenant every year. This whole festival was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation until the days of Noah, which were 26 jubilees and 5 weeks of years. Noah and his sons observed it for 7 jubilees and 1 week of years, until the day of Noah's death. From the day of Noah's death, his sons did away with it until the days of Abraham, and they ate blood. But Abraham observed it. And Isaac and Jacob and his children observed it up to your days. And in your days the children of Israel forgot it until you celebrated it anew on this mountain. Command the children of Israel to observe this festival in all their generations for a commandment to them. 1 day in the year of this month they shall celebrate the festival. For it is the Feast of Weeks and the Feast of First Fruits. The feast is twofold and of a double nature, according to what is written and engraved concerning it. Celebrate it. For I have written in the book of the first law, in that which I have written for you, that you should celebrate it in its season, 1 day in the year. And I explained to you its sacrifices, that the children of Israel should remember and should celebrate it throughout their generations in this month, the same day in every year. On the new moon of the first month, and on the new moon of the 4th month, and on the new moon of the 7th month, and on the new moon of the 10th month, are the days of remembrance, and the days of the seasons in the 4 divisions of the year. These are written and ordained as a testimony forever. Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they have become a memorial to him. On the new moon of the first month, he was told to make for himself an ark. And on that day, the earth was dry, and he saw from the opened ark the earth. On the new moon of the fourth month, the mouths of the depths of the bottomless pit beneath were closed. On the new moon of the seventh month, all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. On the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. Because of this, he ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever, and thus are they ordained. And they placed them on the heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks. From one to another passed their memorial. From the first to the second, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. All the days of the commandment will be 250 weeks of days, and these will make the entire year complete. Thus it is engraved and ordained on the heavenly tablets. And there is no neglecting this commandment for a single year or from year to year. Command you, the children of Israel, that they observe the years according to this counting. 364 days, and these will constitute a complete year. And they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feast. For everything will fall out in them according to their testimony, and they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they neglect and do not observe them according to his commandment, then they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order, and they will neglect their established rules. And all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will wrongfully determine all the order of the years. For I know, and from now on will I declare it to you, and it is not of my own devising. For the book lies written in the presence of me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained. Or they forget the feast of the covenant, and walk according to the feasts of the Gentiles, after their error and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon and how it disturbs the seasons and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason, the years will come upon them when they disturb the order, and make an abominable day the day of testimony, and an unclean day a feast day. And they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy. For they will go wrong as to the months and Sabbaths and feasts and jubilees. For this reason I command and testify to you, that you may testify to them. For after your death Your children will disturb them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. And for this reason, they will go wrong as to the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. Thank you, family, for listening. God bless.